Okay, guys, now you remember that postcard. It came with a letter from your union, right? Perfect. Now you're going to continue to receive that postcard every 2 years or so while you're in the union or retired from it. The reason for that letter, guys, is the union's trying their best to provide you with the best benefits that they can. As you know as well as I, they can't provide you guys with everything that you need. Okay, and that's why they give you the chance to work with us. What you're going to get out today is very simple. Like the letter talked about, the first benefit's going to be a no-cost $4,000 accidental death and dismemberment benefit. It's at no cost to you. I'll witness your signature establishing Nicole as the beneficiary on that, Matt. You guys are also going to receive some child safety ID kits. It's called the child safety kits. They work hand in hand with the Amber Alert. I'll show you exactly how those work. Get a best benefits discount card. This is going to save you on out-of-pocket medical expenses on things like glasses, hearing aids, prescriptions, dental work, up to 60% in some cases. I'll show you that. You also receive a family information guide. It's like a roadmap to all your important benefits, guys. Something I'm going to walk you through, but you'll fill out on your own. Finally, like that letter talked about, the union has made available some supplemental package of benefits that it's made available to you, which if you qualify will break down. If as we're running through those, you're like, wow, makes a lot of sense why the union set this up for me. Great, we'll get you set up today. If not, it's no big deal. Okay, if by rare chance this doesn't meet a need, we actually ask that you don't enroll. It's that quick and simple, but they do ask that whether or not you make that decision today. Simple yes or no. I'll definitely be ready to make that decision today. Does that sound fair to you guys? So what you'll find is it's a very simple benefit. Like most families I sit down with, you're going to know pretty much the next 15 minutes if this is something that makes sense for you guys, okay? Get started, all right? So the first benefit that they have for you, Matt, is going to be your $4,000 accidental death and dismemberment policy. Again, this is at no cost to you, but it covers you for any accident on or off the job, as long as you're a member or retired from the union. The big thing here is that it covers you in any accident, so car explosion, hit by electricity, you fall off the roof, cleaning the gutters, those kind of things, you know you're taken care of. They have also dismemberment, so you lose your hands, your feet, sight, and your eyes for whatever reason. You're entitled to the full 4,000. Half that, one hand, one foot. You're entitled for half the amount. Now I'm going to have you, Matt, okay it down here at the bottom. This is just establishing Miss Nicole as the beneficiary on this. While you're doing that, I'm going to have you, Nicole, please save the company phone number in your phone. It's going to be 585-292-9610. All right, and then you're going to also establish 2 contingent beneficiaries for the plan. So 2 local people over the age of 18 that if something should happen to you, Nicole, as well, could be contacted as contingent beneficiaries on this plan. Your brother John, we'll start with him then, John. And what's the best time to reach him? We've got right here in Clyde, or where does he live? Okay, right here in Webster. Best phone number for him? We got 585. John, your brother. Okay, perfect. Now, does he have little ones too? How many little ones does he have for the child safety kids? All right, so let them know that you made them contingent beneficiary. And as contingent beneficiary, they're actually going to extend to them out a $2,000 benefit. So let them know Giovanni from Milico is going to be getting a hold of them to deliver their certificates, just like we just did for you guys. But I just don't want to catch them out of the blue and make them think something's happened to you. Okay? Beautiful. So I'm just going to start a pile here for all your benefits, for all your important benefits, and we'll just keep them going that way. So the next thing they have for you guys is what they've set up there with the child safety ID kits. And these are vital because they deal with protecting our little ones, our children. We've all been there. I don't know if it's happened to you guys where you've had that oh no moment, your stomach drops, they ran around the corner, you turn around, they're gone. Oh man, has that happened to you guys before? Jeez. Okay, so we know what that is, and even worse, if something happens to someone that you care about, their child doesn't come off the bus. Okay, most families that we sit down with, one of their primary concerns is protecting their little ones from abduction. So we work with different associations and unions of police associations, and they asked us to get these kits out to 100% of the community. So I'm just going to break these down for you. So you're going to put Miss Olivia's name in here. okay, the day you complete this in pencil, because you're going to try to keep these kids as up to date as possible. So one thing is you're going to put all their vital statistics in here. Obviously, height and weight's going to go in pencil as well. Everything else that's permanent, eye color, things like that, you can put in pen. Parents' information is going to go down at the bottom so they know how to get a hold of you guys. You're going to get an updatable photo. I usually recommend you guys do this every 6 months or so. It's a nice thing to keep them up to date, a school photo, but you want it to be a full body shot there. On the inside here, this is where it gets into detail. These are ink strips, folks. So you're going to peel these things off, and you're going to do from left to right all 10 of the children's fingerprints. It's a fun activity, but just be careful. It is permanent ink, so if they get out there, they may go all over the house. You may be cheetah prints all over. You're going to go here, a spot for hair, a DNA sample. You're going to pluck one hair out of the head, tape that in there, works perfect. Then any describing features, birthmarks, scars, tattoos, that's where they're going to go in here. Okay, on the back there is some vital information in regards to the importance of 911, the danger of strangers. We recommend to every family that we sit down with, guys, to not write Olivia's name on anything in particular, like a backpack or a hat or a shirt, because it just makes that one step closer for them for an abduction, because they know their information. The other thing is to put in place a safe word or code word, which could be something as as unique as a potato tree, and they know for whatever reason, if someone were to come up to them and know that that potato tree is the safe word, and even if it's a stranger, they come up, they know that password, it's safe to go with them. And on the flip side, even if it's someone they may be familiar with, but they don't know that password, they know it's not safe to go with those folks. So it's just an extra barrier you put in place there. The next thing is also is a safe word. They could use it as if they call you up and they're like, hey, Mom, I really need my coffee mug. You know that's a key word of get them out of the situation that they're in, so they don't have to tell you, hey, there's someone being rude here. We're going to get in a fight if we don't leave soon. That being said, guys, they did a great job with these child safety kits. You can agree on that, right? They're vital. And when we sat down with the International Union of Police Association, they asked us to get these kits out to 100% of the families in the area. Now, particularly, I'm the only agent that's out in this area, and it's nearly impossible for us to deliver these to the whole community. So what they allow us to do is extend these kits out to families that you care about that have little ones as well. So you're only allowed to extend these to 6 families, but you want to think of your own first. So if, your grandbabies, or sorry, not grandbabies, your children, or maybe your brother Josh, his children. He said he's got 2 of them. They'd be great candidates for these child safety kits, I think. So, boom. Josh, he said he's got 2 children, and best time to call him. He was right there. Okay, so you have 5 more of these. Now you want to try to get the more the merrier. If you know anyone in particular that's got the 6 families, 6 kids, they get the most bang for their buck out of these. So who do you guys know that's got lots of little ones under like 18 or so? Oh, perfect. So you got a few more. Who's next? Okay. I see you scrolling. Keep on going. You got a few more. Okay, sweet. So I'm just going to put in all your information here at the top. Okay, and you kind of also let them know you extended out these child safety kits for them. We'll try to get them out to them as soon as possible. But I am, again, the only person doing this out in this whole area, so it takes a while. The next benefit that they've set up, that they've negotiated, is going to be your health service discount card. Now, this is a great discount. For example, what kind of health insurance do you guys have? Beautiful. Okay, this is going to work perfect with that. Now, it's not an insurance card, but it's a discount. In areas like glasses, hearing aids, prescriptions, dental work, this is going to save you anywhere from 10 to 60% off in some cases. So I highly recommend you guys just give them a call at this 800 number here. Punch in your zip code, tell them, where you go to the doctor to get, glasses and things like that, and they'll get you all taken care of. So the nice thing here, There's glasses, for example. If you were to go in and usually the exam is covered and you're looking at $200 out of pocket every time that you go, this may help you on your $200 copay or out of pocket costs associated with the glasses. Anywhere from 10 to 60%. It's definitely worth a shout to see if it'll work for you. But I know that a lot of members love it. It saves you on those out of pocket costs that they're all whacking us with. Okay. Next, now this is where it starts to get into a little bit more detail. This is, like I mentioned, your family information guide. It's an organizer, so if something were to happen to you guys, God forbid, everything would be in one spot so the family's not tearing up the whole house. So what you're going to do here, guys, is simply put in all your vital statistics at the top. You're going to put any veteran information. I don't think, did either of you serve in the military? Well, thank you for your service, man. That's awesome. So you're going to want to put all the veteran information you can in here so that she knows who to get a hold of for those. Your statistics going to go in here, Nicole. Persons that you'd like to be notified. These are people you care about that may not live locally. Okay, they get a phone call, something's happened. Person to be in charge of your arrangements. This person's super important because obviously something were to happen to one of you, the other one would probably be on the hook. But if something were to happen to both of you, do you know who would be taking care of your stuff? Your situation here? Sometimes that's a tough question, okay, but it's very important you guys have this stuff sort of set up so that that doesn't, when that happens, there is a plan in place if that were to happen. When it comes to a last will and testament, do you guys know why it's important to have a will? New York's what's called a probate state. So in the state of New York, if something happens to you, they can technically freeze your estate if you don't have a will, send your family through a probate process. So that's why it's so important that you don't procrastinate on that. I'm going to leave you with LegalZoom.com. It's the most affordable way to set up a will in America. Okay, check that out or go to a lawyer, but I would recommend getting on that. Estate information. Every year, millions of dollars goes unclaimed in life insurance. Okay, people have some insurance, no one knew about it. Most families we sit down with, they rely on work for coverage. They realize that it's not permanent. So when they leave work and retire, guess what happens to all their benefits? Okay, so they stay with the work. So that's why they've set these up to fill in the gaps for you guys. When it comes to private life insurance, have you guys had the opportunity to take out privately owned life insurance before? Awesome. Okay, so all this is going to go in here. Like, for example, our Nilico 4000. Next, you get into estate information. Okay, you don't recommend the account number, but you do want your families to know where you bank. It is, again, a probate state that can freeze the accounts. Funeral service requests. This is not the hottest topic, guys, but you want it all to be in here so that the first time that they're looking at this, they're not sitting in front of a funeral home trying to figure out what they had to do for your estate, your funeral. Makes sense. It's a great document, guys. Now, do you have a preference when it comes to traditionals? Cremation, have you given that much thought? I know, it's not the best, okay? So the average cost of a traditional burial right now is about $14,000. Cremation is usually about 5 to 8, depending on the services. So, yeah, it's no, nickels and dimes. But the next benefit, okay, guys, the next benefit is what's called the Union Catch-Up Program. Actually, I was almost going to forget about our food bank before we get into the union members. We do have a very extensive food bank, and how we keep our food bank stocked, guys, is we ask that every family that we sit down with be able to extend maybe a can of food, some dried goods, something like that could store. Tough times, I'm sure you're aware that happen to good people. You never really know about the situation, but one of the nice things that the company does is provide them with the food bank. We just leave them food, knock on the door, make sure it's done in the most compassionate way possible. So if you guys haven't been to the store, I completely understand, but if you do have something that you could donate to the food bank, I'll take it with me. I don't want to forget about it here, so if you could grab that for me, Nicole, that'd be great. Okay, perfect. And like I was getting ahead of myself, the catch-up program, I'm super pumped for it. It's one of the best things. So for whatever reason, most members, man, like you, they get that postcard, they send it in, and we're able to deliver them out their union benefits. But for whatever reason, some, we don't. They fall through the cracks. So what the company allows you to do is a union catch-up program to the 6 closest union members that you work with, just to make sure that someone has been out to deliver this stuff to them. Hopefully, not everybody's as good as you returning their mail. And if it doesn't say pension or retirement, they're usually tossing that dang thing in the garbage. So we can just make sure everyone's had access. So pull out your phone there. Just the 6 closest guys. If you want to start with, I don't know, the first guy that you started working with, you apprenticed under, or something like that. Who's that be for you, man? Okay, I mean, he's your steward. No, he's still okay. Journeyman. Do you know how many children he has? So the kids. Okay. All right. Who we got? We got 4 more. All right. Okay, sweet. If you want to give them a heads up that you extended, you made sure that they had access to the union programs. Otherwise, man, I'll just let them know, hey, I'm going to be in there when I'm in their area. I'll reach out to them to do that for them. Okay. Sweet. So the next thing is going to be your mandatory read-off letter. Okay, so when it comes to this, like I mentioned, Nilico, they don't do advertising. This is not open to the public. Okay, so this is sort of like our billboard that your president sent out to you guys. Just breaking down. So Nilico is a 100% union label company. We're the only one of our kind. We've been doing this for 60 years. Okay. These benefits are meant to be supplemental, which means in no competition with anything that you already have through work or you may have outside of it. It's going to fill in the gaps where most everything else leaves off. If you choose to enroll, these benefits are permanent, portable, and under your independent control. The final thing is we treat every one of these visits as an open enrollment period. So as I mentioned, whether the programs make sense, great, you can take advantage of it today. If not, no big deal. We'll fill out an officer report form and make sure the union knows we're stopping out to deliver these benefits and how we can make the program better. So, makes sense? Bear with me here. I'm going to ask you some questions. The next thing they want me to do is walk you guys through what's called the personalized needs analysis to tailor fit our union program perfectly for your family. So I've got your date of birth there, Matt, is 6/12/72. Okay. And for you, Miss Nicole, how young are you today? Okay. Now, this is going to cover the whole family, kids under 18. So let's start with the oldest child under 18. Okay, perfect. And so the next thing is, in order to make this affordable for every family, we typically base this off an hour of work. I'm not talking overtimes or your best hour you've ever worked. I'm talking a regular 40-hour work week. Matt, what's your hourly rate? Okay, 18 bucks. All right, now Miss Nicole, how about yourself? Same thing. I'm not talking your best hour, but regularly an hour, what do you make? Sweet. Okay, so this is going to be definitely affordable. The next thing is, the third and most important criteria is you have to medically qualify for this. It takes effect immediately, which is nice, but we got to qualify for everything today medically. That being said, I've got some basic questions. Any internal cancers, insulin, diabetes, cardiovascular, blood pressure, cholesterol, anything at all with the hearts that we should be aware of. Pew. Okay? No probation or parole, no DUIs in the last 10 years. You've been good there? You haven't been getting in trouble for me? Okay, I love it, man. And no, do you guys smoke or chew tobacco, either of the two of you? Okay, hey, it's not a crime, man. It's just, your own choice. And when it comes to the next part here, any prescriptions regularly that you guys take? Sweet. So you guys should qualify with flying colors. I wish every family that I sat down with was as healthy as you guys. All right. So the next thing you guys qualified, like I mentioned, with flying colors. And what you guys qualify for is going to be actually the Premier Family Care Plan. All right. Now your guys' contribution to the program, if you do choose to enroll, is going to be based off of $38.22. Let's say $39 a week. Why on earth $39? Well, we try to base everything off an hour of power principle. So what that means, guys, is you're going to take one of your hours, Matt, and you're going to take one of your hours, Nicole, and you're going to put them aside and pay yourself first for those hours. Okay, how they break it down is if your boss were to call you in tomorrow and tell you guys you've been the hardest workers we've had, we're locking you into a permanent 41 hours of work per week. You guys as a family, you just made $38, $39 more a week. You're coming home and booking a Disney World vacation, buying your brand new hot ride vehicle Corvette out there for 1 hour of work, guys. Probably not. Now, on the flip side of that coin, though, they were to tell us, look, guys, everyone's getting locked into 39 hours. We're all losing an hour. We're docking the family's pay by $39 per week. You're not coming home and shutting off the lights, telling the kids they got to figure out getting a part-time job like you did back in the day. Make ends meet around here. I'd hope not. Okay, so it's safe to say, you guys can agree with me that $39 per week is not changing your whole lifestyle. But to know that everything is protected may have been your best hour you put in. Okay, so what on earth do we get? Guys, I do have to ask you, has either of the two of you ever been on the financial side or arranging a funeral? And you're lucky not to. Okay, most families, honestly, that I've sit down with haven't. What people don't realize is life insurance, it's not handling the cost of funerals the way that it used to. Guys, it used to be, you said you had some life insurance through work, so if something were to happen to you right now while you're working, you could take that life insurance policy he had, Nicole, to the funeral home. And they would hold that as collateral until the insurance money came in. That was before. And life insurance had to pay out on a claim within 24 days. Now life insurance companies, guys, have 60 days that they can hold on to that claim for. They're in no rush. It's sitting in those accounts collecting them what? Interest, right? They're making money on it. So they're in no rush to get it out. And funeral homes, most funeral homes in this area especially, are asking for something up front. You're looking at half of the cost of a funeral. Newcomers, it's 100% of the funeral cost up front. I don't know about your guys' situation, but most families I sit down with, they tell me they don't have $10,000 sitting around to throw into the dirt. And the ones that do, they don't want to use that money on a funeral expense because they're going to need that money for what comes after the funeral. And so that's why the union, that's why they've come up with this. Guys, this is your freedom of choice. Different than life insurance, this is a funeral benefit plan with your family's choice of funeral home. So how this works is, Nicole, this does not matter how, when, where something were to happen to Matt. You're going to take this into whatever funeral home you choose. You're going to flip this thing over. And you're going to take from his wishes here, figure out how much that's going to cost, sign. Your job is done. The funeral home's job is to call us. After you leave, they're going to call the number on here, ask us, one, did Matt have this benefit? And two, how much did he have sitting in there? Now, if we were to tell him that you guys have $30,000 for your funeral, it's a very important number, because if you tell him he has $37,000 for his funeral, magically, guys, they're going to whack us for $37,000 for that funeral. So it shouldn't work that way. We don't allow it to. We ask Nicole, you never reveal he had $37,000. And the same for you, Matt. If something happens to Nicole, don't tell him she had $37,000 to work with. Whatever is left over is going to get sent back to your family. It's tax-free money. It's just the quickest, most compassionate way of dealing with what's inevitably going to happen to all of us. Okay? This is a prearranged funeral. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of a prearranged funeral. It used to be a great concept, and it still is a great concept, but the problem is that a prearrangement, you've entered into agreement with one funeral home. This is portable, so we can go anywhere. Okay, and the other thing is, you're on the hook. You've got to fill up that account. A prearrangement, most I've seen, is probably $100 a month or so. Okay, let's say just $100 to make it easy. You've put into there for 6 months and something happens, your family's still got to figure out what they're going to do for the difference. And so that's why they came up with this. It's permanent, it's portable, it covers you guys a blank check for up to $37,000 each for your funeral costs. Does that make sense how they did that? Now, Matt, why do you think that that's important to have? And Nicole, do you see why it's important for both of you to have this? Okay, beautiful. So the next thing they have, guys, is going to be equally as important as a funeral cost is what comes next. Okay, what kind of reoccurring bills do you guys have on a regular basis? Nicole, we got mortgage, we got cars, we got cell phones. Okay, the kids, groceries, those things aren't free, right? Okay, so it's safe to say if something happens to Matt and we don't lose his paycheck, things are going to get tight here probably in a hurry, right? Okay, and that's why they've come up with an income protection portion of this, which means if something were to happen to you and Matt, doesn't matter how, what, when, the family is going to continue to receive a $3,000 check for up to 12 consecutive months. Okay, so how that's going to work is she's going to continue to receive that check. People don't realize life insurance, it works just like a $100 bill. Okay, the families I sit down with, they tell me most of the time for a life insurance check, like what he had through work, like we're talking, you're going to wait about 60 days, maybe more, to get that check. So the first thing you're going to do, just like if I give you a $100 bill, you go to the grocery store and buy some soda, some frozen pizza. Okay, in 2 weeks, how much of that $100 bill do you have left? Well, not as much. You cashed into it, you broke into it. It's not like you're wasting your money, but you're squandering it. $2 here, $3 there. Next thing you know, it's gone. Same thing is happening with life insurance. Okay, people are getting it later. They're breaking into it for all these other expenses they didn't see coming, and the interest on top of not having that money when they needed it. And so next thing you know, on average, life insurance, unfortunately, is lasting people about 2 years. Okay, so how this works instead is it's going to guarantee the paycheck to come in every month, so that we can take, at this point, any work coverages that he has, put them into the bank as that nest egg that they're meant to be, and draw off of it slowly. So we've got your funerals protected, your income's protected, and we're still talking $38, $39 a month, a week, which would be what? A pizza, a large pizza and wings. Another incredible benefit built into this program, guys, is each of the kids is going to have a $10,000 benefit. No parent ever wants to think about the possibility of losing a child. But in that case, the only thing worse than that is not being able to afford them everything that they deserve. So that's why they've come up with this. But the cool thing here is that at 21, they're guaranteed that they can convert it to up to $50,000. And listen to this, guys, with no medical questions asked. So if something ever does happen to them, they're in an accident, or some kind of childhood diabetes, or who knows what. Okay, the next big childhood disease, they're guaranteed that they can take out coverage from national income. How cool is that? Okay, so we've got all that. We're still talking your large pizza. The price hasn't changed. The next thing, if you're going there, if you're going to pass away tomorrow, guys, the chances of it being a heart attack for you two, young, healthy, okay, it's very slim to none. It's 9 times more likely that you guys are going to pass in some kind of accident. Okay, so that's why they've come up with the additional $140,000 bump for any kind of accident on or off the job. It doesn't matter how crazy it is. You're struck by lightning tomorrow. Okay, something of that nature. $8,000 for each of the kids. God forbid something should ever happen to them that way. Makes sense. The next one was the most dangerous thing that all of us do every single day. Get behind the wheel of a car. Guys, that's why most companies, they reduce the benefit. Nilico actually bumps this thing up because it's more likely you're going to use it. So any kind of privately owned vehicle, car, motorcycle, you can be driver, passenger, accident can be your fault, doesn't matter. You each have an additional $180,000 bump and $16,000 for each of the kids. So when they start getting in their, motor vehicle license, there's something set up in there to protect them as well. The final part is a common carrier benefit, which means anything you paid to get onto a plane, a train, a bus, a taxi, Uber, a cruise. Okay, don't get any ideas, Nicole, but if it is on a cruise, you're going to get an additional $300,000 bump if there is anything happens that way. All this coverage, plus the incomes, plus your funerals, we're still talking that same large pizza hasn't changed. How are we looking so far? Now, one of the reasons that young, healthy families like you, they love this program is the living benefits. So let's say, on or off the job, something happens, you drop your hammer, you smash your finger pretty bad, it's blown up. You go to the emergency room to get it checked. Even worse, one of the kids slips, falls, got a lash all over their head, bleeding everywhere. You go to the emergency room. What is a typical copay for you guys? $100. Okay, so gas money to get there back and forth. Hey, it happened in the middle of the day. She had to leave work to go get her out of school. Okay, you're getting paid for those hours. Probably not. Okay, $100 if you're like me. That copay every time, that's $100. Okay, and $100 is $100. So this instead is going to pay you every time for any kind of external bodily harm, as long as you guys go get those checked within 72 hours, so 3 days of that accident, you guys are entitled to up to $200 for going to get it figured out. This is anything you can think of: a tick bite, poison ivy, something stuck in your eye, cut, broken bones, okay? But it's not the sickness, the flu, that kind of stuff. The nice thing here is it's an unlimited amount of times, so if you guys are all locked in for that, for the $38 a week. Okay, unlimited amount of times, but here you're still choosing to go get those things checked out. You've got a window. It's blown up. Sleep on it. Still go get it checked. The next one, you didn't really have that choice. Okay, last thing you knew, you're in a tree stand. Now you're sitting in the hospital bed. What the heck happened? Okay, she's sitting by your side going, honey, you've been in this hospital for 10 days. What's the first thing that goes through your head if you've been in the hospital for 10 days? What happened? Okay, does work know that I'm here? Am I still have a job when I get out? And then they let you out. What's the first thing you're thinking about when you get home? I'm going to go back to work because I got to make some money back. Well, that's why this pays you $400 per night that you're overnight in the hospital for up to 365 consecutive days per occurrence, which means you go in there tomorrow, you can get paid every single night for an entire year. As soon as you get released, a whole new year starts all over again, just like that. Okay? The same 4,000, 10,000, 10 nights that you were overnight in the hospital, sorry, there'll be a $4,000 tax-free paycheck for you to buy you some time to recover. Does that make sense why they did that? And we're still talking a large pizza. Now the next thing here is if it's worse, you end up in intensive care, they're going to double the benefit for $800 per night for 14 of those nights. Now after the 14th night, it's just going to go back to this for the rest of the year. We're probably going to be using the freedom of choice. Makes sense? One of the great benefits built into this is that this is strike and layoff proof, which means if you get laid off regular, you can waive this premium for 3 months out of the year. And if you're on strike, they'll waive your premium. You never got to pay it back for an entire year. Okay? There is benefits like this that you can find out there. Aflac, a combined insurance. Most families, they tell me that that's going to cost them most likely $30 to $60 a month just for the hospital plan that Medical offers. Does that make sense? Okay, so just to reiterate again, we've got this hospital plan for the whole family, the living benefits. We've got all this accident insurance. We've got all the income protected. We've got a funeral. Everyone's got their funerals taken care of for a large pizza. Option B, all we're going to do is partially inflation-proof the funerals for $15,000. Everything else will stay exactly the same for $25 a week. Okay, guys, so you've got two great options, option A or option B. Which one is better for you guys? Okay, option A. That's what most families go with. So all I'm going to need to get you guys started is going to be your driver's license with a check. Okay, we'll get all your paperwork going here. You need your HIPAAs. You're going to go through fill those out. Okay, go through the medical questions. And I'm going to hit them with, okay, guys, everything is good. Boom. So the next thing, guys, the last benefit that I have for you before we take off out of here is going to be you guys actually made a great commitment to your families today. Okay, and by taking those what ifs off the table, you've protected them for any of those situations that we talked about. Every time I break this plan down, people ask me continuously, how come that we never knew about this? How come you don't make this available to the general public? And at these rates, guys, we could. But the reason that it's so affordable, so much better than other programs, is it's not open to the public. So we give each family the opportunity to pay these benefits forward to people that they care about. Make sure that they've had access to the same programs that you just did today. More importantly to me. Okay, so you're going to start with the people that means the most to you. Okay, obviously, you guys would probably want to do this. Make sure that John has access to everything like you do. So let's start with him first. Okay, and most families I do sit down with usually give about 10 of these invitations. So who are you guys thinking you want to do this for next? When it comes to parents, if you guys, it's not your job to do this for them. I will do that. So you guys got, okay, you got the money ball. These are the last two. This is for the people that either make you laugh the most or they've hurt themselves the most. Those are the two money balls. Who you got? Okay. So the last thing, guys, as I'm wrapping it up here, is I recommend you guys reach out to these people. Okay, if I call them out of the blue, they've got no idea what national income is talking about because they've never heard about us on TV. Okay, they're going to treat me like a dang telemarketer. It's not what this is about. Okay, if you guys want to make sure that they have access to the benefits and that they take care of their families in the same way that you guys have taken care of yours, okay, it's vital that you guys reach out to them and let them know I'm going to get them a call. Now, when you do that call, you're going to tell them some insurance man going to call on them. Okay, they're going to treat me like a dang tax collector. That's not how it's supposed to go. So just so my peace of mind, I just want to make sure when you're telling them just to give them a brave thing, you don't have to break them down this whole program. All you got to let them know is this gentleman Giovanni is going to give them a call. When he does, he's my union benefits coordinator. He just broke down everything to us. We really liked it. We wanted you to look at it. Super exclusive. He's got 10 other families every day that he's seeing. So when he calls you, just try your best to give him the time that he needs to do his job. Okay, they'll thank you for it later. You both can agree they're going to love the program. The biggest thing is that phone call goes right, so when I call them, they're not caught off guard. Cool? I know you're a man of your word, Matt. I mean, we set all this up. So I trust that you're going to do, just that and call him. But why don't we do this? You said John's the beneficiary. He's the child safe. Let's do John first together. So I just make sure that you're doing the right thing. Give him a call right now if you want. We'll start it right now with John. So call John. Hey, ba ba ba.